I have the pleasure of sitting here today with one of my favorite artists, Hisako Kobayashi. And I want to really just spend some time talking with you and finding out a little bit about how you make what you make and why you make what you make.
Okay.
And hopefully at the end of this, I will be wiser and our audience will be wiser. Maybe you will even have discovered some things.
I will know more about me.
Yes, that is the hope. I'm a great fan of starting with now. So I'm going to begin by showing some recent paintings of yours, and this is probably the thing that you're not supposed to do in a video. But I'm going to just start with a couple minutes of silence, and let's take a moment to look at these paintings and to enjoy the silence and see what we see. And I'm going to show two more, and these are really just to sort of set the table for us, make sure that the audience, who may know your work very well and they may not know it so well, give them a sense of what you are making now. These are all recent paintings. I do particularly love that title, the idea of a pilgrimage.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just love to know from you, having looked at these paintings, and I'll go back to this last painting, the Pilgrim to a Million Years Ago, and just want to know, how does a work like this? How does it begin? Where do you start when you make a painting? When you make a painting such as this?
Well, actually, my answer would be boring. I don't really have plans. Usually, I don't. Sometimes I have some feeling about it, which direction or what kind of feeling I like to evoke in the artwork. But usually, I just start. And the painting, it's more like rather than me directing the way to go, painting direct me.
So you are really, you're responding to what you're feeling as you're making it.
Yes, I make mark, lines or color, and then I talk to, it's almost like you and I are talking. I do that with canvas.
That's beautiful. That actually seems much less boring than having a plan.
Well, having plan, I think not knowing is a challenge, but it is interesting for me, what to find in it.
And do you find that when you are somewhere along this journey of making the painting that maybe there is some sense to it, that actually there was something that wasn't just random, but something that became very much a purpose?
Yeah, you go through many different stages and you take out, erase or add, and then back and forth for some time. But then gradually, you find some kind of rhythm in the painting, and that's sort of a push forward, and then that's the time I'm very close to finishing it.
So do you feel like there's actually an aha, a eureka kind of moment for you? Is it something that distinct, or is it something that just...
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm coming close, but then work like this, you never know until you can when you're done, because some color, they don't go together, or lines would destroy the whole painting, and then I start all over again. So but then also the idea of finish is a difficult thing to define, because you think you're finished, and then a month later you come back, you don't feel right about it, you want to change. So this happened often. But I think many things in the work, the lines and color, texture, the amount of color, and how they connect with each other, all this sort of, just like singing, they come together to me, then I feel like it's done. There is nothing more I can add to make it more perfect. So I walk away, but as I say, sometimes you come back later, I do again.
So painting is never truly finished.
I would say that, yeah, almost done, but the painting is just like you and me, it's alive. So, change all the time. You change and the painting change.
Yes. So your relationship with the painting certainly
Yes.
changes, and the new you sees something that could be different and maybe better, right?
I hope so. I hope I don't go back. That's one of the reasons why I paint. I like to go forward. I like to be able to see more.
That's beautiful. I think I shared with you once a story. I had a dear artist friend, and I had to stop inviting him to my home. I could only meet him at his studio or someplace else, because if he came to my home, he came with a set of paints and brushes, and he might change a painting that was on my wall. So for him, truly, it was never finished. I haven't seen you do that.
I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, no, now I've created a monster. So you said you don't have a plan before a painting, but you sometimes have an idea, or you have an inspiration, something that has fired the desire to make a painting?
Yeah, definitely. Or as I work, I recall certain thing that I've seen, or maybe the sound or something like that. I like to bring that feeling to the painting, and I try. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes not, but I have moment of that. In everything I do, how I feel is most important. And as soon as any part of that become very self-conscious or like that, it doesn't work. So it's a fine line.
So I'm curious about the role of chance. Do you feel like chance plays a part of this? Or
A lot.
A lot, okay. So things happen on the canvas that
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
you weren't intending, and then
But-
that gives you a direction.
Yeah, well, I think it is artists who see it. Many things I just let it go, and then I find what may work, but that makes my painting, I think.
But it's the artist's eye that
Yeah.
takes that piece and then develops it in a particular
Right,
direction.
yeah.
That's true to you.
Yeah, I like chances. It gives more. I like the openness.
So every time you come to a painting, it's an adventure. There are possibilities.
Yeah, that's the thing I enjoy most. Not knowing what will show up.
Well, that's good. It keeps it from being only drudgery. Work you have to do. It's work that you can do, right?
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't know what direction I go, and I find as I go along. It would be boring for me to have a drawing, and I would draw just like what in my drawing. It's like making a copy of that, but I don't think I would be an artist if that was a kind of art it was required me to do. But it is like a life, you have to create.
It's interesting that you make this analogy about the drawing, because there are many times that I look at preparatory drawings and studies for finished paintings, and I like the drawing sometimes it's a collage, but whatever the preparatory work better, when like the ideas are very fresh and fertile and still coming together, sometimes those feel like they have more life to me than the finished work.
I don't have much to say about experience of drawing and transfer that drawing onto the canvas, because I haven't really done enough to say, but there are a lot of wonderful paintings done that way.